Hey everybody, it's Mr. Pratt here, and today we're going to be geocaching. So geocaching is a great way to stay active outside. It's a lot of fun, especially with kids. Kind of pretend you're on a big treasure hunt. What you do, you're going to download an app. I'll show you that in a minute. And once you have an app, it's going to show you different locations where geocaches have been hidden that you can go and find. There's tons in urban centers, there's tons out in nature. Really, they're worldwide, and no matter where you are, you could probably find a geocache pretty close to you. We have about 10 within a kilometer of our house, which is a great way to get the kids outside exploring. Today we've chosen to use our bikes for our geocaching adventure, but you could be on foot, you could jog, you could run, you could bike, skate, rollerblade, whatever you see fit. It's all about the adventure of getting outside and exploring, trying to find some local treasure. So one of the many reasons I love geocaching is because it really combines physical activity and nature. It's a great excuse to get outside and go on a little hunt. It also combines technology and screen time with activity. Technology and screen time don't have to be a bad thing, and there's always a time and a place for them. If it's going to get you outside and get you more active, this is a great way to use your devices. Another thing I really love about geocaching is you can actually select the difficulty level of your hunt. You can go to a close geocache, a far away geocache, an urban geocache, one on a natural hike. It gives you a lot of options and flexibility to kind of do what is right for you and what is up to your ability levels. The app I like to use for geocaching is the original Geocaching app, which you've seen featured in this video. It's a great app, gets all the jobs done, and it's the one I like to use. They are the original app creators, so it's great to support them and keep the sport of geocaching going. It's also a great app because it gives you descriptions on the size of the geocaches, and if you're in trouble and you're having trouble finding them, it gives you hints on where the geocaches are located. Alright, so when you first open the geocaching app on your smartphone, this is what you're going to see. This is the geocaching app that I use, the official geocaching app. Once you're in there, you're going to notice a map like this. The blue dot is your current location, the green dots are little geocaches around your community, and the yellow smiley face is actually a geocache that I've completed in the past. You can see down at the bottom, there's a suggested geocache, and when I open that up, you're going to be able to navigate, log, and you're going to be able to look at the difficulty, terrain, and the size of the geocache. In this case, the difficulty is a 1.5, terrain is 1.5, and it's a micro geocache. Now, if you want even more information, you can actually click at the bottom there on that description button. It'll give you a quick written description of the geocache, and you can also click on the activity button. This is a great thing to do before you go out for the cache because you can see the date it was last found and make sure that it's still an active cache. As you continue viewing this, you can click the navigate button and it's going to show you how to get to your geocache. Obviously that's a straight line, so it says 1.1 kilometers. Clearly it's going to be longer to get to that geocache as we can't just walk through the middle of a farmer's field. You can also explore with some different options like clicking onto a compass mode that gives you coordinates and directions, so it makes it a little bit more of a challenge to find the geocache as opposed to a straight up map. And once you're finished the geocache, it's super important that you click that log button. Then you can say if you found the geocache, if you didn't find it, you can leave a note, and this helps make sure that the geocache is active. Your feedback on this is really important. Alright, so we're off away on our geocache here, just heading on a nice straight path to start, and you're going to see at one point we come level with our geocache. We're now about half a kilometer away and we're going to head into some urban areas. We're then heading into a city setting, making sure we do a nice safe road crossing here, and after consulting the map we realize we're going the wrong way, so we turn around and we're on the final descent to our geocache. Now you're going to notice I'm showing you pictures here, we're just progressively getting closer and closer and closer to our cache. You can see us honing in, and when I get within a few meters I actually like to switch to the street mode view, which you can do in the app and the 3 dots up at the top corner, and it gives you a little bit more of a specific location for where you're going to find that cache. Alright everyone, so our geocaching app and map says that we're within 10 meters of our treasure or our geocache. 10 meters is a pretty big range, keeps the hunt exciting, makes it so it's not so easy and technology can't lead you the whole way. It's given us the area, now it's up to us to find the cache. Are you too excited? You ready to find some treasure? Let's do this thing. Alright, so here you can see we've began the hunt. I'm showing the kids how small the geocache would be. We're looking high, we're looking low, we're checking out trees and checking out our surroundings. Little do we know, it's actually in the fence behind us. After consulting the map and moving a little closer, we got within 3 meters and were able to spot the geocache hidden actually inside this fence post. You can see my son was pretty pumped when we found it. This is the size of a micro geocache. Some are a little bit bigger, but it gives you an idea of how small they can be and how difficult they can be to find. So the kids were pretty excited to check this out. In this geocache, there was just a little logbook and a few little pieces of treasure. We just signed the logbook and put the treasure back in. But like I've said before, sometimes you can take a piece of treasure and leave a piece of treasure. Totally up to you. Now, this is the ever important part of geocaching. We're putting the geocache back exactly where we found it. We got to make sure the next people can come and find it and have as much fun as we did. It's important to complete this step. And lastly, we're enjoying a little cookie reward for our efforts. All right, everybody, so that should give you a taste of what geocaching is all about. We've made it back home. The kids are inside having a snack with their mom, and it was overall a really good experience. A few things I just want to touch on quick. Number one is make sure when you do a geocache, if you're taking a group of students or young kids, you check the geocache first. Anytime I've done it, I've been able to find the geocache, but I've heard stories of a geocache not being where it's supposed to be, or somebody who is not geocaching properly has taken the geocache or moved it. Of course, that would be super disappointing for kids or students, whoever the group you're taking, so it's good to pre-check to avoid that disappointment. That said, if that disappointment arises and you've been geocaching before, not a bad life lesson for kids either. Just make sure you're ready to have that tough conversation. Other things that are important to note is geocaching etiquette. You're outside, you're in a natural environment. Please be respectful of nature, the people around you, rules of the road, all those kinds of things. You want to do this safely and you want to do it respectfully. A lot of geocaches, you get to the geocache, there's just a logbook. You write your name, and the date you found the cache. Some of them you actually are able to take an item and leave an item. Again, this is where previewing the cache before you take a group of kids would be a great idea. It's not something that you have to take and have to leave, but it sometimes is an option. And of course, when you're doing any activity outside, make sure you're dressing for the weather, bring in any supplies and stuff you may need. And one other thing to note, once you get into geocaching, you found a couple of your own caches, I'd really encourage you to create a cache of your own. This gives kids or students, or adults really, an incentive to continue the tradition of geocaching. The more caches that are out there, the more likely it is that people are going to geocache and stay active. So it's a great way to give back to the activity and continue the fun for others. It's also a great way to get kids and students and adults invested in the activity that they're doing. Once you create your own cache, you kind of have a sense of pride when people come and find your cache. It's building, creating, and get that same kind of satisfaction. So thanks for watching. I hope you're able to get outside and do some geocaching of your own soon. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. This is Mr. Pratt, signing off from Geocaching. You having fun? What's in there?
No.
Was that our treasure we found? Are those pretty cool treasures?
Yeah.
Is that a note? What does it say?
I don't know. Who do you think put that treasure right there?
I don't know who put the treasure there. Who do you think put the treasure there?
He's the one who did.